I haven't made a video on NIO in a very long time. It's been months, but today I felt compelled to do one. This wasn't even planned. I just said, you know what? I'm gonna make a NIO video. Let me just tell you, NIO's gonna absolutely explode. This thing will go to 300 bucks and above. All right, it may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week. It'll probably more than likely happen in the long term. But in the short term, I'm expecting it to at least double. Now, it sounds like I'm pretty bullish on NIO, and for good reason. That's because I am. I'm very bullish on NIO, and I see this thing taking off and going to the moon on a rocket ship. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why we're going to see that happen for NIO. And we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your wealth through investing and trading stocks in the market, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the video. Let's go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I know that this isn't usually what you see from me because normally I report on EVs such as Workhorse. But, you know, I got to make room sometime for other things like NIO. And like I said, I am bullish as heck on NIO. It will absolutely explode, and let me tell you why. All right? So first of all, let me announce that we've got brand new highs on NIO and the pre-market, and that's awesome. I love it. Now, I haven't watched the video, or I haven't been watching the market since I started recording this video, so I hope it didn't like tank or, you know, nothing crazy happened since I've started recording. But, you know, I have faith, and I've been praying. So, very quickly, let me address the elephant in the room, all right? I know exactly what some of you are going to say about me making this video because I've seen it before in the comments. All right, I'm going to ask you not to do that anymore. Okay, I know that NIO is a Chinese company. You don't think I've done my DD? I know, bro, okay? Chill out, calm down. It doesn't mean that we can't profit. I don't care if you don't trust China. All right? Have you ever been to China? Then don't say that you can't trust it. Trust it or the Chinese people. All right. Anyhow, let's get serious. So we've known for a little while that China's economy has recovered pretty well, or at least that's what we've been hearing. And we've seen evidence of it, I'd say pretty quickly after the little situation down there, which I'm not going to say by name. Long story short, their economy has been booming. Taking a look at the Chinese auto sales, because I think that's important, they're up by 12.8%. from the domestic demand from the previous year, which is suggesting a strong recovery. And then for January through September sales period, we see that there was a decline in sales and it's narrowed down now to only about 6.9%, which is great. But what I mainly care about as a NIO investor is to see the demand for the new energy vehicles, okay? That's what we're concerned with. But, you know, don't get me wrong, vehicle sales altogether still give us a good indicator that the economy is recovering well, and there's demand for vehicles. People are buying cars. Like I said, by all appearances, it would appear that demand there is recovering very well, and as we can see, through the September sales jump, 68% jump. I mean, that's telling us something, you know? That's telling us something very powerful. It's sending a very powerful message. The demand is freaking strong. And if you would like to know just exactly how strong it is, let me just tell you a little bit. All right, so back in August, the delivery numbers, 3,965 vehicles delivered. That's 104% growth year over year. Also in August, we heard that NIO announced the official launch of their battery as a service, which to me is, let me figure out how I can put this, colossal. This is freaking insane. Okay, this is a big deal. There's no other service like it. NIO has got, this thing just hammered down, and they're the first to do it, and the technology is spectacular. Even Deutsche Bank was praising them for it. I mean, we've got all sorts of analysts upgrading it in China, and for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure most of you do, this is a stock that's, a company that's based solely in China. All these numbers are only in China. But NIO has plans of pretty much expanding to Europe and I'm sure the United States at some point. So when that happens, these numbers are going to be even more spectacular. I mean, you've got to realize that this is just one market we're talking about. Now, yes, it's the largest market in the world, but still just one market. Think about it. Even though the other markets that it's going to be dipping into eventually aren't the largest markets in the world, they're still going to represent significant sales and significant growth and ultimately significant opportunity for us to capitalize on that and make some money. I know that's what you wanted to hear, so I said it. Now, let's move on and talk about, well, before we move on to talk about what I wanted to mention, I've got to say, for each vehicle that's purchased, the user can choose not to get a battery with it and save 20%. And that's what that battery as a service sounds kind of funny, is actually all about. The battery is sold separately if the consumer wants to buy it. And they also get incentives and all that other kind of stuff, subsidies. So this is a big deal. This is cool. Now we can move on to September delivery. September delivery, 4,708 vehicles delivered, which represents an increase year over year of 133.29%. That's 133% growth. All right? That's crazy. And they keep setting records every month. Every month is a record month for NIO, or has been for the last few months. Now, the total vehicle sales or deliveries for the year 2020 was 26,375, which represents a total year-over-year increase of 113.7%, which is impressive to me. I mean, these numbers are like really impressive, and I hope they're impressive to you too. Now, cumulative deliveries of the E58, E56, and EC6, which NIO didn't even begin deliveries for until September, like the end of September, the total cumulative on that was 58,288. That's like awesome. And I know you guys are sick of me saying that, but I'm just really impressed. And every piece of data that I see here that I'm calling out is awesome. It is spectacular. I mean, these are awesome results. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to call it. I'm calling it like it is, basically. So let's talk more about that battery swap. In the last 5 months, the number of battery swaps completed has doubled to over 1 million. Okay? I mean, man, 1 million batteries swapped. That can only tell you one thing. They've got more customers. Either that or people are just using the heck out of it. The same people are using the heck out of these vehicles for them to, pretty much double their swaps. So that tells me they've got new customers. There's demand there. And anytime you've got demand, you can rest assured that there's going to be money there. So this just goes to show you the potential of this company. They're growing at an accelerated rate. There's no signs of a slowdown coming anytime soon. And here's something else that's worth mentioning. NIO is saying that these 1 million power swaps or battery swaps have saved their customers $15 million in energy costs. That's, freaking awesome. And with the incentives and all that I mentioned earlier and subsidies, it only makes sense to go with NIO. Now, they are expected to launch the ET7 at an event that's coming up on January the 9th. Now, this event on January the 9th is actually the 4th annual NIO Day. Normally, they've done it in December, like December 28th is what it was scheduled for. I don't know why I can't talk this morning. So December 28th is what it was scheduled for, but for whatever reason, they decided to push it back to January 9th. Now, there is a history that we can check out of what usually happens at these events, and by recollection, if my recollection of the events is correct, they did have a sell-off after one of these events, but normally, they're running up into these events. And during these events or after these events, when they launch or show off the vehicles that, they're launching. So keep that in mind, mark that in your calendar, because we're going to it, buddy. In case you didn't know, NIO is often referred to as the Chinese Tesla. And I'm beginning to, see that more and more as I'm studying this company and seeing what it's doing. This looks very, very, very similar to how Tesla looked at in these stages of its life. And they seem to have an identical or nearly identical price to shares ratio from the way that NIO is looking like now compared to what Tesla looked like several years ago when it was kind of in the same position. But in my opinion, there's several reasons to be bullish on NIO. Okay, number one, they're working on autonomous driving. And number two, they've got the battery swap technology, which only takes you 3 minutes to swap out a battery. While everybody else, the competition, they wish they'd have something like this, with their vehicles and their, way to charge the batteries. You're going to spend hours doing that. What if you're in a rush? Now, I know they got those fast chargers, but those tend to cause damage to the battery from what I hear. But let's look at some other points. So, an increase in production is expected to happen in the next 18 months, and that increase is going to be about 150%. That's what's expected. Now, also, NIO is expected to be profitable in about 1.5 years. So that's awesome. So NIO is expected to be profitable within about 1.5 years, which when that happens, if you think that we're getting some good price action now, wait till you see that happen, then we're going to be really talking. Now, they're also competing in the biggest auto market in the world. Okay, so there's a lot of potential there, with that being said. And as I mentioned earlier, they're going to expand into other markets. That is their plan ultimately. And once they do that, the possibilities are endless for NIO. They've got a really unique technology. We've seen several analysts pretty much back them up. We've got Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, Bank of America. All those are bullish on NIO right now. Matter of fact, Deutsche Bank, not only did they praise NIO for their new technology, or for this battery swap technology, but they also call it the next iconic brand. Okay? So that should tell you something right there. You've got a lot of people that are, a lot of important people, institutional investors, hedge funds. Everybody's trying to get a piece of NIO right now. So what do you need to do? Get a bigger piece. Get the biggest possible piece that you can possibly get, if that makes sense. Because one day, you're going to wish you had if you hadn't. Now, there are other points. One point in particular that I really like is that the government gave NIO $1 billion to pretty much develop that whole battery swap technology thingy there that they're using. And they did it. As far as I know, there's no problems with it at all. I mean, we're talking about over 1 million swaps done and everything's Gucci. If the government's backing them, what do you think that means? That means it's not going to let them fail. With the Chinese government backing them, that's telling me a lot right there, and it should tell you a lot at the same time. So pay attention to that and how that develops. But, so far they've done well for themselves. They did exactly what they were supposed to do with the deal with their government. Now, I will say this. They're also starting to form a brand now, okay? And this is very important because you want people to look at these cars as like luxury, like something that's valuable, special. And I think that we're getting there with these cars right now. At least that's what I've been hearing and reading and everything else. So keep that in mind because that's going to be pretty dang big. Now, some of the risks involved in investing in NIO. For one, they're a Chinese company. And I know someone's going to say that on my comments. So I went ahead and said it so that you guys don't. Because I like to pretend they're American. Number two, they outsource their production, which means they don't actually have a place to build their cars right now. They're being manufactured elsewhere. There was plans in the past for NIO to buy a factory that they were looking at, but last minute they kind of backed out and the stock sold off. That's the period I'm talking about where it was like under $1. After that, it just kind of sat there at that price and didn't move. Like you wouldn't see it doing anything. So it remained dormant for a while until out of nowhere it just started running up again here a few months ago. Another thing to note about NIO is that they have like the best customer service ever. I mean, they'll come to you if you need something, okay? They don't make you come to them. They'll come fix your car wherever. They will come and, swap your battery. They pretty much will do whatever, whatever type of service you need, you're requesting, they're going to do it. And you should see the little chill areas they have while they're, working on your vehicle if you choose to like go to one of them. I mean, it's like being at Starbucks. The only thing you're missing is the frozen coffee or the iced coffee. Once they get that, maybe they'll put Starbucks out of business too. I mean, so that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, I ask that you help this channel out by smashing that like button, as it motivates me to keep making videos just like this one every single day. If you're not a subscriber, you should consider subscribing, as I publish valuable content like this daily. You can do so from your screen right now, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can click on the video that you'd like to see on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.